how to generate solar leads without knocking on doors. We're going to be talking about all that and much more on today's podcast of the Solarpreneur. My name's Taylor Armstrong. We're here to help you close more deals, generate more leads on referrals, and have a much better time in the solar industry. Thanks for making the podcast the first listen of every Tuesday and Friday. We are free and available on Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. Today, we are jamming on ways you can generate referrals without knocking on doors. And you should know, if you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you know that I am a strong advocate of knocking doors. I think that is the go-to, in my opinion, best way to generate leads. It's free. You're getting less shoppers, builds character, helps you in the close. Huge fan of knocking on doors. But that being said, I think it's good to expand the ways you get leads. And I am also for getting online leads and for other methods of lead gen. I think as solarpreneurs, we need to have our hand in all baskets, not only knocking doors, but taking advantage of every way we can generate. And so some of these I've talked about on the show before, and some of them I've done more than others. Some strategies I haven't done much of myself, full disclaimer, but I have friends that get tons of leads in a couple of the things I'm going to talk about here. And I know they also work if you work them. So let's jump into it. The first way to generate leads without knocking a single door is working your power base. What is your power base? If you have not read the book Sell or Be Sold, Grant Cardone talks about this. But your power base is anyone that you know, all your friends, family, basically anyone you grew up with, anyone that could benefit from your product or service. You're putting them on a list. They're your warm leads, people that trust, know, like you. These are people you should reach out to before anyone. And this is something I tell all the new reps that start with us out here in San Diego. The first thing I tell them is, hey, write down your power base. Start reaching out to your friends, family, loved ones. Get them hooked up. I remember when I first started, one of my first sell was, guess what? My parents. Okay. And I didn't really give them an option. Said, hey, I'm doing solar. You guys are getting this. Didn't really explain it to them. Got them on the phone, pulled up credit application, said, Dad, what's your social security number? We're doing this. It's going to benefit you. They did it. So that was one of my first sells. You should have the confidence in your product to know that you're helping people. And something that I tell my new reps is, even if it's people that you think, this is a stretch, I feel weird about reaching out to them, then do it like this. Just say, hey, we got, I just started with a solar company. We got a great offering. Think it could benefit you guys. Even if you're not thinking about it right now, do you guys mind if I just did like a practice presentation and showed you what's going on? They just have us practice whether you guys are interested or not. Is that cool? And 99.9% of your family and friends, like, how are they going to say no to you doing a practice presentation? So this is how I coach my new reps to start working their power base. Even if it's someone you haven't reached out to in a while, just reach out, say, hey, let me do a practice presentation. And even if they weren't interested, a lot of these people are going to be by the time you're done presenting to them, because solar is the biggest no-brainer, right? So that's number one. And then number 1A, going along with that in the same topic, is recruit people that have a power base. My new reps I bring on, they're not closing deals typically yet. And so I'm coaching them through this process. Guess who they're getting to help them work their power base? They're taking me to these leads, right? Okay, and don't be, a disclaimer with that, don't be like the person that just recruits people and closes these people's families and friends and dumps them to the side. Like, you should be recruiting people with honest intent and really coaching them, really training them. You're not just getting them to give you free leads through their power base, but that is one of the side benefits. If you are coming at it with good intent, then these people are going to want to introduce their friends and family to you, and then you're going to coach them to knock doors and get leads other ways as well. But I just say that because I actually had a friend who started a company, and this company had massive turnover, and basically they're just recruiting guys on so they could work their power base, and then they dumped them to the side. They didn't really care about them after that. So don't be like those guys. Make sure you are actually recruiting people with honest intent and wanting to train them and have success long-term in solar. Okay, and number 2 is consider joining BNI groups this business networking, right? This is something, I'll be honest, I have not done myself, but I know a lot of people that are doing this. They're going to these groups that just where people from different industries, maybe it's landscaping, maybe it's construction, different contractors are all coming in, and they're pitching each other leads. And from what I know, I have looked into it a little bit. There is an application process. You do, I think, have to attend a certain amount of meetings per month. You have to commit to giving a certain amount of leads, because obviously you can't just be the guy that goes to these meetings and expects free leads, but you never give anyone else leads, right? So essentially you're just sharing leads as you're going to other houses. Maybe you have someone that's interested in selling their home. You're passing that lead on to the real estate guys in the B&I group. You know, it's law of reciprocity. You're giving, and then you're getting leads in return. And yeah, I actually had a coworker that did this. He came in, started selling with us, and I think he got like 15 deals his first month, and we never saw him really out knocking. Like, dude, what are you doing? You just getting tons of referrals? What's going on here? And that's what he's doing. He's going to these B&I groups. He was getting a ton of leads from it. Worked out tremendously for him. And so consider going to one of these B&I groups. I know it can work. One of the reasons why I haven't taken the initiative to go to one of these groups is because it's like, once you do get good at knocking, I know I can go out and generate leads right off the bat. This is more of a long-term play. And that's the thing about these other methods. They are more long-term things. They're slower to get leads. So my opinion is you should never replace door knocking or your go-to lead generation methods with these, because it's going to take a little bit to get going. Right, you're not just going to show up to a B&I group and get 10 appointments that day. But if you come at it with a long-term perspective, I think it's a great way to supplement it. And, you know, maybe try one of these things 1 month, use it to supplement your door knocking or whatever else you got going on. And last but not least, number 3 on the list is social media. Okay? And everyone knows social media can be a great way to generate leads. And I've told this story before, but just me posting, if you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, you've probably seen me posting my little selfie videos. I do the customer interview, say, hey, what did you guys like about the process of going solar? Did you have to pay money out of pocket? Funny little videos I post. I have gotten a few leads, believe it or not, just by doing that. So that's my go-to. Like, if you're not going to get leads on social media, if you're not doing anything, I would suggest at least taking like some customer videos, post it on social media a couple times a year saying, hey, all my family and friends, our solar company's working out a sweet deal. We're actually in a competition. If you've ever thought about solar, hit me up. I know sometimes I don't post enough about it, whatever, because sometimes people don't see. Even to this day, sometimes people don't know that I do social media, or I do solar, even though I'm posting about it on my social media all the time. So you're going to get different people seeing your content, different people reaching out. And if you really want to take it to the next level, I have friends that they go on like the Facebook groups of maybe it's like buy sell groups, maybe it's like real estate groups, just anywhere where homeowners could congregate, community groups, whatever. They go on these groups and they post content about solar and just free content, and they get leads this way. One of my good friends, Earl Capule, who's been on the podcast, when he was running a team with myself out here in San Diego, he told us a story about he actually hooked up the VP of SDG&E, San Diego Gas and Electric, with solar out here. Absolutely insane. How do you go about selling basically your enemy, right? We're against the utility. But he hooked this guy up with solar. He didn't knock his door. How do you get in touch with this guy? He hit him up, I believe, and maybe he'll correct me if I'm wrong later. So Earl, if you're listening, let me know if I'm missing any details on this. But from what I remember, he hit him up on LinkedIn. He was just posting valuable content on LinkedIn. And I believe that the VP of SDG&E hit him up, said, Earl, I've been following your content for a while, seeing your posts about solar. I'd like to get a quote from you. Reached out just like that. Earl got him some information, got him a proposal, got him logged down. How insane is that? Literally sold the guy that's one of the most powerful guys on out here in San Diego, that is vice president of the utility company. So crazy things like that can happen if you utilize the power of social media. So those are 3 ways to start generating leads where you don't even have to knock a single door. Number 1, work your power base And with that, recruit people, help them work their power base. Number 2, B&I groups. Number 3, utilize social media, go in Facebook groups, network with other people, get on LinkedIn. All that stuff helps. Okay, but again, don't let this replace knocking doors or whatever your bread and butter is for generating leads. Next episode, do not miss out. It's going to be fire and extremely value packed. So that's coming next time. Hopefully you got some value from this podcast. If you did, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the above, and keep tuning in. We got some extremely awesome guests coming up soon. So go crush it this week, get those deals locked down, and remember, have fun selling your solar. We'll see you on the next episode.